Welcome back to the garden. Meet one of two nests of visitors to our space. They have actually since fledged, but Mama Bird had two babies, and unfortunately I can't say they weren't tormented by a bit. The robin's more than that one. She couldn't get down there. Anyways, I did pick up some geraniums for the door, and I have the first of the mums blooming. This is that section where I want to pull out the iris and get them moved. And then with the added rain here lately, you can see where I've got the strawberries tacked into various dirt. Those have finally started to root. When I picked up the geraniums and more soil, I also picked up these impatiens. The coloring is not great on here. They're sort of a really warm salmon-y pink, for lack of a better way to describe it. We do have some peaches on the tree, and they don't all appear to be having problems with oriental moths, which is great considering I have not yet gotten the tree sprayed again. The sweet potatoes do seem to be sprawling more than they did last year, so I'm not sure how well that's going to go with the kale. And then, of course, we've got the two sections of potatoes, and I bought a bag of potatoes that has stuff sprouting. So I'm going to be planting some more of those soon as well. That is borage. I'm hoping that I can get it to kind of take and reseed itself in here around the base of all of these glads and help keep weeds down. I do believe borage is one of those that basically reseeds itself, so it kind of acts like a perennial even though it's an annual. And then I did get tagged for this week, so I have come in, pulled out as much of the mint out of the walkway as possible, and that section around underneath the base of the tree. And then I just went ahead and covered the cement block section of the pathway with mulch as well. I do plan to move these two bits of Russian sage out of the walkway. I just am not quite sure where I'm going to put them. So if you see a spot you think they would do well, let me know. I've tied the rest of it back, and the youngest came out the other day before her shower and pulled as much of the poison sumac as she possibly could. So I was able to get out here, pull as much of the pokeweed as I could, and now it's just up to me to get some more deadweed brew mixed up so I can keep up with the poison sumac she couldn't get. This is sort of an empty alleyway coming to the back. Basically, I'm supposed to keep that entire section walkway clear so they can get to the meters if need be. Now, like I had mentioned before, this is our asparagus bed. I do have stalks standing up better now. Of course, they aren't like super tall, but it seems like I am getting some more sprouting up as well. And it has been raining quite a bit lately, so I've just come back, pulled weeds as I see them. I am looking to probably interplant them with something else. I'm kind of concerned about doing strawberries since those are much more aggressive, and I don't want them to completely shade out the asparagus before it gets big. So I'm thinking maybe beets this year. The lemon balm is starting to bloom, and it doesn't have the same bloom I remember, but then I don't have record from last year, and it was all sort of tucked into this half-dead forsythia bush. So that's interesting. This is, of course, the oregano, as that last half was over on the forsythia bush. That is starting to bloom. I think one of my goals for this year, I want to learn more about harvesting herbs and getting those dried. We pulled in a bunch of catnip the other day as well. Like, I know how to dry it, but Anyway, this is the lancenato and premier kales back here, and I think you probably saw the calendula already. I've got one that I think it has 3 blooms now. Because of the rain and how they work, I have not been able to respray or dust with neem any of the brassicas. Now, the tree I was hoping to have tomatoes climb that was out here is no longer there. We have a Siberian Husky in the trailer behind us now, and of course, Hyde really wants to get to her to hang out. She's only 4 months old, but it's one of his own. Anyway, the tree wound up coming down when she got loose and came to visit. This is a ginkgo tree. It had been on the other side and chock full of weeds, so I got these 2 containers cleared out and moved. I did move some strawberries that would have been under that container over by the strawberries to help shade and keep weeds down over there. I did go ahead and get the comfrey dropped, and that's how far it's back in the last 2 weeks already. So these are the impatiens I got from Lowe's. They were 8 packs for $2 on clearance, just because they were looking a little leggy. And so I got 2 packs, and they are absolutely beautiful. They do like more shade, so hopefully they will like it underneath this mulberry tree and put on enough size to withstand Hyde and his tie out before he gets home in a week. This is a project for this week. I had tried to do a self-watering pot that did not turn out well. So I need to pull out this strawberry plant and get it planted somewhere, and then just get rid of that whole mess. And I'll probably move it back over to the other side of the pots and sort of use it as a raised bed situation for some greens and things. This is what I have left to plant. I've got some loofahs, some cucumbers, some white snapdragons, and I believe that first tray is mainly broccoli. So I do have a lot to do in the next couple of weeks with my companion, Mr. Hyde. Have a great week, you guys.